either of the games, or like game one of this series, we could be in for a long day.
I'll tell you, Barry, it's remarkable. When these two teams played down in Miami 2 weeks ago, it was 4-2, 4-3, 7-5, a total of 23 runs in 3 ball games. But last night, 3 hours and 55 minutes, we had 29 runs, 30-plus hits, 20-plus walks. Not the kind of baseball we expect this afternoon.
This is a huge game in terms of the Trans-America Conference standings, as you see there. Central Florida a half game up on FIU, and ironically, Larry, these two teams entering the series had two of the best team ERAs in the nation.
Well, I tell you, that's what makes it so surprising. Number 2 in the nation, UCF. FIU is number 10. You expect low-scoring baseball. That has been their trademark throughout, and yet yesterday it was nothing like that. Today, I suspect it will be. Form usually comes back a big doubleheader for these two teams.
That's right. We'll tell you about the Game 1 starting pitchers and give you the starting lineups when we come back. We're playing 2 today from the UCF Baseball Complex. It's FIU and UCF next on Sunshine. And we welcome you back to the UCF Baseball Complex in Orlando. The Golden Knights and Golden Panthers set to get it going in game 1 of 2 7-inning games today for you on Sunshine Network. Here is the FIU batting order for game 1. Leading off and playing left field is Ramon Ruiz. The second baseman hits in the 2-hole, Tony Diaz. The catcher bats third, Jason Vetter. Francisco Lebron bats fourth and plays first base. Right fielder Joe Kramer hits in the 5 spot. Shortstop Hiram Silva will bat 6th. Third baseman Jeff Rodriguez hitting 7th. The DH, and a lot of power in that 8-hole today out of designated hitter Sean Mahoney, and center fielder Jimmy Molina rounds out the FIU batting order. And now we check the defense for UCF.
Eric Johnson, Will Crowd, and Frank Fusil, the outfield from left to right for the Golden Knights this afternoon. The infield has Adrian Cardenas at third base, Eric Riggs at short, Pat Williamson at second, and over at first is Greg Pacitti. Behind the plate, Jeff Connor, and on the mound for the University of Central Florida is left-hander Todd Bellhorn. Bellhorn with a record of 2-3, a solid 3.21 earned run average. This is his 11th start of the season. In 56 innings, he's allowed 47 hits. He has struck out 61, walked 35. The walk number a little higher than UCF coach Jay Bergman would like to see. Todd has a habit of getting behind hitters. If he does that, he can have a tough day at the office. But if he gets ahead of you and can change speeds and turn it over with the changeup like most lefties are able to do, Todd Bellhorn can be very tough.
Your home plate umpire Richard Gray calling the balls and strikes today. Rick Darby out at first, and Dennis McComb over at third. And there you see Ramon Ruiz, who will get us started today for Florida International. Ramon hitting .363 for the season, 3 homers, 30 runs batted in. Just had a mini career against Central Florida in that series earlier down in Miami as Bellhorn misses with a breaking ball. Conditions today, well, is there anything better than perfect? Because that's where we are today.
Pretty darn close.
It's 75 degrees. Absolutely gorgeous in Orlando. As Bellhorn misses low with a fastball, now make it 2-0. Ruiz was 7 of 12 with a couple of doubles against the Golden Knights down in Miami, trying to come anywhere near equaling that kind of output. Hits a fastball high in the air, fairly deep to center field, going back onto the warning track and against the wall. Boy, did that carry. Chasing Crowd back to the wall, and actually that went out of here. That was hard to tell. Crowd was able to make the catch.
There was not much wind at all. He just got it up there. Again, the 2-0 pitch. Bellhorn comes in with a fastball right in the hitting zone, and Ruiz powered it to the deepest part of the park. But I was with you, Barry. It looked like a deep fly ball, plenty of room. Crowd went a little further, and one step away. He didn't realize the fence was there. He might have been able to go up and get this one.
Well, excuse me, Ramon. That is a high fly ball up in the air that just carries out of the ballpark as what breeze there is, and we showed you only 5 to 10, but it is blowing to dead away center field. So Ruiz leads things off here with his 4th home run of the year, RBI number 31, and just like that, FIU has a 1-0 lead. Now Diaz with his slow ground ball out to Riggs at short. He makes the play. A little bit more basic there, 6-3 ground out.
Well, you start him with a strike, a breaking ball in on the hands. That's a good pitch, and that is the life story for Todd Bellhorn. We'll watch that all afternoon. Jay Bergman knows when Bellhorn gets ahead of hitters, he's very tough to get to. But if he doesn't get ahead of hitters, he's vulnerable.
That is the 4th home run allowed by Bellhorn this year. Not a guy that gives up very many long balls. Fastball to Jason Vetter is in there for a strike. The Florida International catcher hitting .360, 4 homers, 33 runs batted in. for Vetter out of Vero Beach. 0-1, pulled the string a little bit, missed down low, and that evens it up 1-1. Here you see Bellhorn, one of the best athletes on this team too. If he's not on the hill, he's in the outfield or maybe even a DH possibility. He's a guy that has to be in the lineup, and they need his bat in there. Central Florida, as well as the Golden Knights do pitch, have struggled a little bit this year offensively.
And I think it's hard to fully appreciate how difficult it is for the guy on the mound when he's in right field one day and then he's DHing, then he's in left or he's in center, and then he goes out on the mound in one of the more important games of this regular season and faces an outstanding team like FIU. You ask a lot out of a kid, and Todd Bellhorn so far this season has delivered, but it has affected each part of his game that he's doing so much.
Vetter looked at a strike and a count 2-2 as Jason backs out of the box there. Bellhorn, 2 balls, 2 strikes, down 1-0 after the leadoff homer by Ruiz. Now the 2-2 breaking ball and fouled away over into the FIU dugout, so the count will remain just there. Vetter transferred from Indian River Community College, had just a terrific career there. One of the top junior college catchers in the state of Florida, all conference, all state, hit .369. Breaking ball, just foul by a couple of feet down the third base side. Here you see Danny Price. What a great guy he is. 18th season at Florida International. Earlier this year, won career victory number 700 in a 5-0 win over Stetson. Actually, that coming a week ago today. Oh, he got it. Change up that was really out of the strike zone. Vetter could not hold up, so Vetter goes down swinging. Strikeout number 1 for Bellhorn.
Well, the lefty, you want him to turn over that change. You get that downward motion almost like a screwball without the stress on the elbow. Beautifully delivered by Bellhorn.
And here is Francisco Lebron, 6'5", 240-pound senior out of Bayamon, Puerto Rico. There you see his numbers, 277. You talk about an imposing figure at the plate. Francisco Lebron is all that.
You can call him Francisco. I call him Mr.
Yeah.
Good-looking athlete.
I'm telling you. Here's the 1-0. Bellhorn missed again down and in. Make it 2-0. LeBron, a solid first baseman. Just a guy, I tell you, once he hits a little better for average, talk about a big league prospect. There you go. Lifts this one high in the air to left center, coming hard. That drops in. Neither Johnson nor Crowd, neither one of those guys ever took control and called the other off. Total confusion in left center field for UCF, and that drops in, and it will be credited as a base hit for LeBron.
Well, Eric Johnson is the pure left fielder there, or pure catcher playing left field, and it shows there. Johnson doesn't want the ball. He keeps looking at Crowd. Crowd was shading toward right center field because they wanted to pitch away against LeBron, but at 2-0 he comes into the zone. LeBron hits it to the left side of center field, too far for Crowd, but Johnson just has to take charge. That's his ball.
Absolutely. So a 2-out hit now, and on that, LeBron out at second base, so give Francisco Lebron a double on the play for Joe Kramer, who steps in now, hitting .431 on the season, and it hit him. Yeah, that breaking ball up in tight. So Kramer hit by the pitch, and just like that, now UCF in trouble.
Shortstop,
Caught him on the elbow.
Yeah, very important right here for Jay Bergman to settle down Todd Bellhorn. When he's had trouble, it's been early in ball games. He should be out of this inning. And so what does he do? The very first pitch after a bloop double that he didn't deserve, he hits a guy. Now he's got 2 runners on, 1 run in. His team had to lost one last night. They let one get away. 13-8 in the 9th inning at home. You ought to win. So they're a little down. They need a good start to this ball game. Instead, they're getting the exact opposite.
And you know, Larry, just a bizarre season in so many different ways for UCF, because 48% of UCF's opponents' runs have been scored with 2 outs. This is a team that has just not been able to get out of innings.
Yeah, you think you're close, and that was a perfect example. You've got 2 out, you got a lazy fly to left center field, and it drops in. What Bellhorn has to do is not let that hurt him on the scoreboard. big batter right here in dealing with Hiram Silfa.
Here's Silfa now, the shortstop, hitting .347, no homers, 24 runs batted in, the sophomore out of Santo Domingo. Swings at the first pitch. Couple of runners aboard. LeBron at second. Kramer at first. 2 out. Top of the first. And the 0-1 grounding ball. That tough play made by Cardenas down at third. And that will end it for FIU in the first. But the Panthers come up with a run on a couple of base hits and leave 2. After a half inning, it's FIU 1 and UCF.
A similar game plan. You get ahead of hitters, then you can change speeds, use that change, and be effective. If you fall behind guys, you got to get that fastball in there, and neither one can overpower you with the fastball.
Long series between these two clubs. This is the 70th meeting. Florida International, you see their leads all time. FIU has won 3 of 4 this year, but boy, the games have been close. And Jay Bergman says, you know, we have been virtually in every game this year except for 3. Coming into this series, UCF had actually lost, but they had lost most of their games by 20 runs. They had lost 11 of the 14 games by 20 runs.
So now 12 of them by 21.
By 21, that's right.
A lot of close games.
Amazing.
And the bullpen has been a big part of why.
Crowd takes up high for ball 2. Rodriguez unable to find the strike zone yet. Will Crowd, Jay Bergman says, may be the best leadoff hitter he's ever coached. Excellent contact man, draws a lot of walks, and really the key to the UCF offense. When he gets on, the Knights have a chance. As Rodriguez over with a fastball, make it 2-1. High fastball. Crowd took a cut at it and fouled it out of play straight back, so the count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rodriguez hasn't pitched nearly, well, over 2 weeks actually as we enter today's game. His last outing was against UCF back on the 4th. Allowed 2 hits, no runs, and picked up the win in the 7-5 FIU victory. Rodriguez missed up and away and now runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Will Crowd out of Miramar, Florida. Transfer from Pasco Hernando Community College. Here's the payoff pitch, and he got it. Great pitch right at the knees all across the outside corner. Strikeout number 1 for Rodriguez.
Will Crowd, a very patient hitter, but at 3-2 you can't be too patient. That's knee high outside edge. That's a great pitch from the FIU lefty.
1 up 1 down now for Pat Williamson, who has been just a tremendous find for Jay Bergman. Comes in hitting .396 after last night's game. A Dean's List student. Jay found him over the summer. He's from Florida, played some junior college ball at Collin County College out in Texas.
Is that where they named him Buckethead?
Jay Bergman. Well, Jay says when they get the batting helmet on Williamson, you got to pry it off. He's got a 7 5/8 noggin out there, and they just couldn't find a hat for him. Great kid, though.
So he's got a bucket.
Yes, he does. There you see Jay, 15th year here at UCF, spent 6 years at the University of Florida. What a record. 789 victories.
Yeah, you think about that, by the end of the year he'll reach the 800 mark.
Yeah.
So we have almost 1,500 wins combined between the 2 coaches in this ballgame.
Another good fastball across the outside corner. Jay gets around the state of Texas too. His wife Sherry, of course, Jay and Sherry built a house in Houston. Hopefully Sherry able to pull herself away from that deck and get that fishing line out of the water today long enough to watch a little baseball here.
Jay had quite a fishing story for us today, too.
He did, but I don't ever believe a fishing story. I want independent confirmation next time we're able to talk with Sherry. Here's a 3-1 pitch, just missed, a little bit low. So Williamson draws the base on balls as Rodriguez tried to bite that same part of the outside corner that he got on Crowd.
Well, that time he just missed. When you're nibbling at 3-2, it's a sign you're confident that you can hit your spots, but it's also gives you not a lot of margin for error. And that time Rodriguez missed it, so he's got a 1-on, 1-out situation.
Williamson aboard for Eric Riggs. Hitting .310, but Riggs really struggling since moving from second to short as Rodriguez goes over to first base there. His average has really kind of plummeted, at least 30 points as the defensive pressure has mounted. When Riggs had to move over to shortstop there, he's really dropped off offensively as he fouls away first pitch for strike one. Trans-America Conference All-Academic team a year ago. And Riggs actually joined the baseball team last season after finishing the basketball season. Fair athlete, I would say.
I would think so.
Rodriguez over to first again. Nothing doing for Williamson. Just 4 out of 5 is Pat Williamson in the stolen base category this year. To the plate, and a good stop by Vetter. One hopped it up there, did Rodriguez. That evens the count at 1-1.
Of course, Riggs righted the ship a little bit as we take another look at this breaking ball. Just got that right foot out of the way. He picked up 5 hits in last night's 15-14 ball game, so kind of began the really began the process of turning it around. There's nothing better for a batting average than get a 5 for 5 going.
Other way, and it's inside the bag. LeBron cannot track it down. Going all the way to third is Williamson. Coming over quickly was Joe Kramer to hold Riggs to a single, but Williamson gets all the way to third, and now the Golden Knights with runners at the corners with only 1 out.
Well, that's a nice piece of hitting there by Eric Riggs up at the plate. Watching there, he goes inside out and hits it up the first base side. LeBron got a glove on it, was able to slow it down. Otherwise, it goes into the corner and is probably an RBI double. So give LeBron credit for the diving effort to at least slow it down. Now we'll see if that helps FIU or just postpones the run scoring as Rodriguez has runners on the corner.
For the hard-hitting first baseman, Greg Pacitti, who takes outside with a breaking ball for ball 1. Pacitti hitting .294, 7 homers, 35 runs batted in. You're exactly right, Larry, about that 5-hit performance for Riggs. He had been just .179 in the 8 games prior to last night. 1-0 fastball over the outside corner for strike 1. Very, very important, particularly in a 7-inning game, to try and keep things close. Manufacture runs however you can. There's the 1-1 to the plate, breaking ball down and away, and it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Pacitti, a tough out as well. 16 multi-hit games this year for Greg. Has played very, very well for Jay Bergman for 2 solid years as the senior from St. Petersburg. 2-1 fastball ripped and caught. And he goes back to first. Diaz a little bit late. Hard hit ball that Tony Diaz got right off the shoe tops and was able to retire Pacitti. Eric Riggs taking a good look at it. Hustle back to first to keep from getting doubled up.
Boy, if he lets that short hop him, he's got an easy double play.
You're
but
right.
He made the catch on the fly, and already Riggs was scampering back to the bag to avoid the DP.
So now it will be up to Todd Bellhorn, the pitcher, to help his own cause here. Bellhorn hitting .289 on the season with 4 homers, 33 runs batted in, takes low for ball 1. Bellhorn, a guy with some power, too. UCF has hit just 2 grand slams this year. Todd Bellhorn has one of them. 1-0 fastball. Got away from Vetter, but he tracks it down, and it's now 2-0. There you see Riggs at first base for the Golden Knights. Pat Williamson over at third, representing the tying run. Bellhorn got a grand slam in the Olive Garden Classic early in the season against Oklahoma State. That would be a pretty good personal highlight there.
College World Series team from a year ago. Cowboys good again this year as always.
2-0, hit right back to the middle. He got it off the fist, and Rodriguez tracked it down.
No errors, 2 runners left on base.
UCF strands a couple, fails to score. Back in the top of the second, Danny Price's FIU club over UCF 1-0. Earlier, we were able to visit with Danny, talk to him about picking up victory number 700 a year ago and about how this club has progressed during the season.
Well, it's quite a thrill to be to get that many wins. Of course, I never won a ball game. You know, we've had some outstanding talent at Florida International through the years, and I think, you know, have a lot of pride in being there a long time and taking a lot of pride in the program and having some outstanding people work with us. And, you know, I talk about our assistant coaches. Orlando Casanova has been with me, I think, 17 out of 18 years. Mark Calvey, who's been with me now in his 4th year. Ken Foster, our volunteer assistant. I'm very proud of our coaches and our ball club and what we're building there.
I guess he is proud of what he has done. FIU actually celebrating 25 years of baseball this year, and they have had only one losing season over that period of time.
It's really a remarkable string of success when you realize they're down there trying to get guys battling the University of Miami, among others.
Hard one hopper out to Williamson at second, retires Jeff Rodriguez. So 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 2nd inning for FIU.
Of course, got to mention FIU also enjoys having an outstanding women's basketball program. Made it to the NCAA tournament this year, where they were ousted by Florida, which made it all the way to the Elite 8 in this year's tourney. But they've got a nice athletic program at FIU.
Danny's ball clubs have had 30-plus wins 5 years in a row, and 19 out of 20. Not only are they having winning seasons, they are really putting up some numbers down there. Designated hitter Sean Mahoney now at the plate for Danny. Hard-hitting DH, swings and misses. Add a change on the outside corner. 0-2 now. Bellhorn up in the count. Mahoney has 9 home runs, as you were mentioning earlier before the game, Larry. You're able to get 9 home runs in your 8-hole. That can really be a big plus for you.
Well, pitchers know who's hitting 7th, 8th, and 9th, and there is a tendency to relax in the bottom part of the order. You don't have to be quite as sharp, so it's a good idea to put someone down there that can hurt you if you make a mistake.
Got it. Right there.
Got it.
And it hit him. Yeah, I thought it looked like it might have short hopped to Connor, but it caught Mahoney on the foot. So Sean Mahoney hit by a pitch. The second FIU batsman hit today. Check it on the replay. Yeah, got him right off the top of the foot.
You see the difference in an earlier at bat. That right back foot was picked up by Eric Riggs, or it would have hit him in the very same situation.
Yep, Jimmy Molina takes a fastball high for ball 1. The FIU center fielder hitting .310 with a homer, 19 runs batted in. Had a great fall practice. Transfer from Miami-Dade Kendall. Bellhorn with a token throw over to Pacitti at first, keeping an eye on Mahoney.
How many Miami-Dades are there?
There are a bunch.
I tell you, they have their
That'd
own.
be a good trivia.
They have their own conference. Name all the campuses.
Bellhorn at the belt and to the plate. Fastball in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count on Molina. Bellhorn at 2-3. 3.21 ERA, as we mentioned prior to last night's game. These two clubs had incredible team ERAs, both among the top 10 in the nation. You would have known it, though, by what transpired in that 15-14 come from behind FIU win. Panthers were down one time 6 runs, one time 7 runs, just kept fighting back as Molina fouls it down the right side off the fence and nearly out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. The count on Molina. Runner at first is Mahoney, the designated hitter. And now the 1-2 to Molina. Breaking ball outside. Bellhorn tried to sneak one in the back door, just missed it, and that evens it up at 2-2.
Danny Price likes to be aggressive with a 1-run lead. He's got a 2-2 count, a runner at first, who, even though he's a big guy, Mahoney runs okay. He's stolen 5 out of 8.
2-2 to the plate, grounded. That may cost him, and it will. If Bellhorn does not get a glove on that, Williamson makes some kind of play from second base, but Bellhorn got a glove on it, knocked it straight up in the air. So it goes as a base hit for Molina.
Now, after this ball goes off the glove of Bellhorn, Passetti's got to stay home. He can't make a play if he comes off the bag. Once Greg Passetti went after the ball, all hands were going to be safe.
Very good point, partner. Now 2 on with only 1 out. As we go back to the top of the order, as you see Mahoney at second, Molina at first, and now Ramon Ruiz, who led this game off with a towering home run to dead-away center field, comes up, bouncing ball to Cardenas. He goes to second for 1, over to first, not in time. So they cut down Molina at second base, score at 5-4 on the fielder's choice. Ruiz out at first, and now 2 down with runners at the corners for FIU.
Did a nice job of jamming the hitter. Cardenas waits for that second hop. Solid throw, but not a lot on it. And the second baseman Williamson had a tough angle. Passetti came off the bag once he knew that Ruiz was going to beat the wrap. So Bellhorn's going to have to try again to get a ground ball to try to get out of this thing.
Yep, he'll try to get it from Tony Diaz, who did ground out his first time up. Average drops 3 points now, hitting .385. Still in all, a very tough out. Breaking ball, up and away, ball 1. Diaz, a great contact hitter, hit the ball as well as anybody on the club. In fall practice, has really established himself. The city takes the throw from Bellhorn. FIU, obviously not in a running situation here, but a team that does run very well. 2 on, 2 out, and again.
Todd Bellhorn's got to be careful because he does not have a really good move, and if he tries to pick a guy off, he might have to bend the rule book just a little bit. With a runner at third and 2 out, you want to deal with the hitter. Let Ruiz do whatever he's going to do.
I agree with you completely. Hit hard and deep into left center, and that will go to the gap and off the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are going to score as sliding in on his belly is Ramon Ruiz, who scores all the way from first base. It's a 2 out, 2 RBI double for Diaz, and now FIU leads it 3-0.
How often is it you find a guy gets preoccupied with a base runner, seemingly without any need to be preoccupied with him, and he makes a mistake on the very next pitch. Short hop against the wall, doesn't even get the break of a possible ground rule double. And nice hustle by Ruiz. We see him going into the plate head first around the catcher, drags the left hand across the plate for the 3rd run of the ball game.
Wow. And again, just to exemplify the point we made earlier, UCF again giving up 2 out runs when they had a chance to get out of an inning. Nearly half the runs allowed this year have been surrendered when the opponent has 2 outs. As Bellhorn misses with a breaking ball, 1-1 now the count to the catcher Jason Vetter, a strikeout victim his first time up. Diaz out at second now with 23 runs batted in this year. Fastball down and in, 2-0, or 2-1 rather. Man with his back to you, Tony Diaz with the big double. As you see the count, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. In the top of the second, FIU able to push a couple more across here. So Golden Panthers really picking up right where they left off last night in the 8th and 9th hole, and that is ripped into left field for a base hit by Vetter. Diaz will come around and score the 3rd run of the inning, surrendered with 2 outs. Now make it 4-0 Golden Panthers.
I tell you, when you throw breaking balls belt high or just under the belt buckle, they're going to be hit hard, and back-to-back times Diaz and Vetter You get good swings on it and drive it into the outfield. The left fielder, Johnson, was quite deep. As you watch, Vetter gets a little curve. Not bad bite on it, but it just started too high up in the zone. That drives in Diaz and makes it 4-0.
Now Francisco Lebron will try to keep this two-out thing working for FIU. Panthers up 4-0 with 5 hits already in this baseball game. LeBron doubled his first time up, takes low for ball one. Any good baseball players ever come from Bayamon, Puerto Rico? Boy, Florida State's had a few.
Aliceas, right?
That's right. Luis and Edwin Alicea, both from Bayamon. Back to the box goes LeBron, and down goes FIU. But not before the Panthers come up with 3 runs on 3. The wind has certainly picked up.
Well, Mother Nature's trying to give him a little pick-me-up. If you hit it to right center field, they could get a little help for the home guys as the wind blows a little more strongly here. But, you know, when you've been outscored 11-1 over the last 3 innings, which is what has happened to the Knights, you need 2 things. A, you need someone to step up and hit the ball, drive in some runs, and you need someone to go out on the mound and hang some zeros.
First pitch fastball fouled high in the air down the right field line. Nice play by Joe Kramer. A couple of steps into foul territory, makes the play over in right. So Eric Johnson retired on 1 pitch.
Number 6, Adrian Cardenas.
Well, Kramer got a nice start on that ball as it was twisting away from him into foul territory. But what made it a trickier play is he's headed right for the bullpen area. And so he's got to be aware that the footing is going to change at any moment. And that forces you to concentrate, keep your eye on the ball a little bit longer. And he did a good job.
Here's Adrian Cardenas, takes low and away for ball 1. Cardenas, the third baseman, hitting .290 with a homer, 14 runs batted in. Was virtually the everyday shortstop a year ago, had 50 starts at short. Just not great range for Cardenas, frankly. A very dependable player, very solid fielder. Jay Bergman moved him over to third this year. Just a little bit high with a fastball as Rodriguez. So now the count 3 balls and no strikes on Cardenas. Senior from Davie, Florida.
It's where Pirates World used to be. Remember that theme park?
Just inside. Cardenas draws the base on, but Pirates World.
It's the first place I ever went to in Florida. I grew up in New York, so it was a little, you know, our theme parks all had things like, you know, metal detectors. But first time I came to Florida, my cousins took me to Pirates World in Davie.
Having known you for about 17 years, I can imagine you would have enjoyed Pirates World.
I did pretty well. I did pretty well.
Now, going to get a visit to the hill by the FIU pitching coach is now Rodriguez. One thing you don't want to do, obviously, as we talked about on the UCF side, the one thing you don't want to do if you're FIU is get casual, get loose out here. As that's Mark Calvi, the pitching coach for the Golden Panthers, out to have a little visit with Rodriguez, who walked Cardenas on 4 pitches.
You don't want to put guys on. You have a 4-run lead. Again, this is a 7-inning ball game, so basically, in theory, you're in the 4th already, and what you want to do is force UCF to earn everything. If you're Jose Rodriguez, I'm sure that's what Mark was telling him out there, is don't put guys on. Make them earn every base along the way.
Here's Frank Fusil, rips one past Rodriguez at third. Well, there have been 6 pitches thrown this inning. 4 consecutive were taken out of the strike zone and 2 were hit. And right now UCF trying to get a rally going. 2 on and only 1 out here in the bottom of the second.
Well, Fusil got a pitch out over the middle part of the plate, just pulled it past Rodriguez, who was in just a little bit, even with the bag. If Rodriguez is back, he might be able to flag that one down.
Fusil penciled in very late today in the starting lineup. Just pulled his back a little bit last night, but looked okay with that swing. As Jeff Connor, catching today for UCF, takes a strike. Connor hitting a .188, no homers, 3 runs batted in. Catching today because Eric Johnson also has had some back problems playing out in left field. 0-1, ripped into left field on a line shot. Oh, that's a nice play by Ramon Ruiz. Makes a diving catch that robs Connor of a hit and robs UCF of perhaps loading the bases, maybe even perhaps scoring a run if that gets by Ruiz.
Well, a nice job of hitting by Connor. Hit the ball well, but Ruiz came in, tried to decoy the runners into the idea, acting like he was going to catch it, thinking that they might react as if he wouldn't, but the runners did not take off on it, and then kind of a sliding, stumbling, tumbling fall to the ground. Not a lot of artistic points for that, but
that's true.
An excellent play defensively.
2 down now for Will Crowd as we go back to the top of the order. Crowd struck out looking his first time up to start off the game. Came in hitting .338. 2 aboard, 2 down for UCF here in the second inning. And the Golden Knights trailing the Golden Panthers 4-0. Rodriguez calls time, wants to have a little chat with Jason Vetter.
Well, you realize Ruiz has now moved way out in front in the running for the Barry and Larry Player of the Game honor.
That's right.
He's got a home run and a nice play out in left field.
Adrian Cardenas out at second base. Top of your screen. Frank Fusil at first. Fastball strike to Crowd. It's 1-1 now to Will. Junior out of Miramar is Will Crowd. 2-time second team all conference. Was a starter in the '96 Florida Junior College All-Star game. Trying to be a star here. Boy, and UCF needs to find an offensive star right now. Rodriguez backs off, takes a look, chases Cardenas back. Cardenas certainly isn't going anywhere.
No, not at all. That's an indication Rodriguez just wasn't comfortable with the pitch selection.
Breaking ball missed outside. 2-1 now, the count to Crowd. And as you mentioned, Larry, earlier, it seemed as if Bellhorn just lost focus a moment. It wound up costing him. Rodriguez, obviously, too, needs to maintain his focus on Will Crowd, a very good one-hole guy for UCF, and he missed again now. And the count 3-1 to Crowd.
You know, Crowd's got an opportunity at 3-1 to be very selective. He can not only sit on a fastball, which is what he's likely to do, but also pick location. Look for something that he can drive through the infield or over it. Try to get at least one run in here.
There you see Jay. I got to believe that Jay has battled heartburn a little more than he wanted to this year. That fastball misses, and now the bases are loaded as Crowd draws the walk. We talked about earlier how UCF had allowed nearly 50% of the opponent's runs with 2 outs. Well, UCF has scored about 40% of its own runs with 2 outs.
So basically, when the Knights are playing, you can take a little longer break between half innings.
Yes, you can.
You won't miss much for the first out or two.
You're not going to miss a thing. That's right. The first out or two, let them go. Then is when the action starts. Here's Pat Williamson. Also walked his first time up. That is now the 3rd walk allowed by Rodriguez as Crowd loads the bases. He's at first. Cardenas moves over to 3rd, and now Frank Fusil out at 2nd. There's a strike to Williamson. Very important, I think, for Rodriguez to get that first strike over there and be ahead, to get a little confidence and pitch ahead in the count.
Well, he's facing a guy who's hanging around 400 for his batting average. He can't make sloppy pitches.
Miss there with the change, and that evens it up at 1-1. Here you see at 3rd base Adrian Cardenas, Frank Fusil to his left at 2nd, and Will Crowd at 1st. 1-1 the count to Pat Williamson. Did he hold up? They'll make the appeal. First base umpire Chris Darty says no, he did not.
Well, let's see. Not much of an effort. If you're a real partisan Panther, you might say that's a swing, but I think a lot of first base umpires come down to effort. Did he have a chance to hit the ball with the partial swing? And obviously not the case there. Good call, and Williamson's got a 2-1 count.
Bases loaded, and the 2-1 up and away. Now 3-1, and Rodriguez starting to labor a little bit.
Well, a lot. He's walked 2 guys this inning. He's walked 3 of the first 10 batters he has faced. and he's been staked to a 4-0 lead. And you talk about things that'll get you popping the antacids when you have a 4-0 lead and your guy's in danger of walking a third batter in the inning.
And he did. Walks in a run. Adrian Cardenas comes in to score. Fusil moves to third. Crowd moves to second. The second consecutive base on balls allowed by Rodriguez for Williamson. It's an RBI the easy way. That's his 20th of the year, and that makes it 4-1.
Again, your rhythm gets out when you're falling behind hitters. You're not throwing easy. You're aiming it in there, and sometimes when you're aiming it, that's the worst thing you can do, because then you're not getting any arm motion. You're not using your lower body, and you're not getting people out.
Here's Eric Riggs, who singled his first time up, takes a fastball up and away for ball one. And now Danny Price said, you know, hey, I realize I was a little like Captain Hook last night. He says, we asked him about his relievers today. He says, well, everybody's pretty much healthy because nobody's pitched long enough to get tired.
His starter, Raul Garcia, an outstanding pitcher, walked 4 in an inning and got pulled. So he could be a guy as a long reliever today as a result of that abbreviated outing in game 1 of the series.
Yep. Raymond Cavanaugh, the big 6'1" junior, now trots down and starts loosening up. There you see him, number 34 is Cavanaugh, who pitched well last night. Fastball inside corner for a strike, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Eric Riggs, who I mentioned after moving over to short suffered a real slump, but boy, broke out of that with 5 hits last night. A hit in his first at bat today. And Riggs with a bases loaded opportunity here to get UCF right back in it. 25 balls and 16 strikes.
Not a good
41 pitches.
Not at all.
That's not what Danny wants to see, I will promise you. At the belt is Rodriguez. 1-2. Nope. I debate him a little bit. Rodriguez short hopped it to Vetter. That evens it up at 2-2.
One of the things pitchers have to do is it's fine to miss on purpose. You got a bases loaded situation, but you only want to miss about 6-8 inches. When you miss by 3 feet, no one's going to chase after it.
Now the 2-2. Missed again. Down and away. And the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, bases loaded. A little painful look on the face there of the FIU coaching staff. They say, come on, fellas. Let your defense help you. You've got to throw strikes. Payoff pitch. And Riggs bounces one out to third. Nice play, Rodriguez, and he boots it. Rodriguez, like he did last evening, may have saved the game with a short hop play. Tried to save FIU from giving up a run, but he boots that one. It'll go as an error. Fusil does come in to score. Bases are still loaded.
First baseman, number 23.
That's not a tough play. He gets the 2-hop, gets his balance, but the ball just comes flying out of his glove while he used his glove to set his feet. Tried to set himself, and the ball goes flying out, and now a single could tie the ball game.
Wow, 4-2 for Pacitti, who takes high with a fastball for ball 1. Only 1 hit in the inning, 3 walks and an error. Bases still loaded for UCF, and the Knights have a couple of runs. Pacitti hits this one high in the air, straightaway center field. Molina settles under it, makes the play. That'll do it. But the Knights get a couple of runs on 1 base hit, 1 Panther error, and they lead. Tournament set up this year because, I mean, most people will tell you that the top 4 teams in the entire conference are the 4 teams in the state. FIU, Central Florida, our 2 teams we have here today, along with Florida Atlantic and Stetson. But somebody in that group is going to be left out of the tournament.
Well, the way they do it, I think everybody gets it. They have a phase where the teams that finish in the top 2 host
They host
teams that finish
right.
lower from other divisions.
Right.
So the bottom two will have to go on the road and try to win 2 out of 3 on the road, and then the 6 that survive that go to a double elimination tournament the next week.
Right.
But what Jay Bergman and I were talking about beforehand is changing the schedule. He'd like to see him go round robin or go to at least a 2 divisional setup, so that their schedule makes a little more sense, and the conference tournament does as well, because conceivably you could dominate your league, play a very poor team, lose 2 out of 3, and you're gone. You don't get into the main draw of the tournament, and that format unquestionably hurts the TAC when it comes to getting an at-large bid. They've only gotten a couple in the past several years. Their tournament champ gets an automatic, but that second or third team doesn't get much of a look from the NCAA because of the strange format of that tournament.
And you're exactly right, Larry, and especially it should be important to change the alignment when you consider, I mean, the Trans-America Conference last year was 8th in the nation in terms of RPI, so it is a conference that should get its second team at least a look for an at-large bid. As Mahoney takes a strike, takes a fastball in there, Rodriguez drew the 2-out walk. First walk of the day allowed by Bellhorn, so Mahoney tries to get something going here with 2 outs, as teams have been able to do, as we have told you, against UCF this year. Breaking ball missed again, and it's 1-1. Mahoney has a couple of home runs against Central Florida en route to his team leading 9 total. Had 2 last night, in fact, his first multi-home run game of the season. 1-1 fastball missed low. Mahoney hit by a pitch his first time up, eventually scored the second FIU run of the game. And you know, although Larry, as we were mentioning, with the quality of the teams as the standings are right now, FIU UCF would both host, but you still have a couple of weekends left in conference play. Everybody has one good pitcher. So as you and I have seen so many things, weird things happen over the years, you know, there's no guarantee that even though you have the talent of the Stetson and FAU, when you're going to go on the road to play 2 on the 2 out of 3, heck, anything can happen.
Well, there's no question about that.
2-2 to Mahoney, missed way high. Now the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And I just think your regular season ought to mean something.
I agree 100%. Absolutely.
If you have a 12-team league, 6 of them ought to be watching when the tournament begins, thinking about why they're not in the upper half of the league.
I agree.
The Southeastern Conference has an 8-team tournament where the lower 4 teams play a win or else situation. You play one game. You could finish 3rd in the SEC West, be a great team. Alabama, Auburn, or LSU. One of those 3 is going to play a first-round, one-and-done game at the SEC tournament, and they could be in the top 10 in the country and be out in one day.
How about that? Swing and a miss. Mahoney strikes out, and that ends the F Stetson. I mean, these are just terrific guys to work with. I got to a couple of weeks ago. Called an FAU Stetson game over at Conrad Park in DeLand. I'm telling you, that FAU ball club can really hit. I would not want to play that club in any situation come tournament time. Bottom of the 3rd now. It's Bellhorn, Johnson, and Cardenas for UCF. Bellhorn just came off the hill after striking out Mahoney to end the 3rd for FIU. Now Todd tries to do some offensive damage at the plate.
You know, if Jay Bergman, you're thinking, okay, Todd, home run or ground out. Don't get out there on the bases in the sun. You just pitched a really good inning. I don't want you out there running bases all day long.
Definitely the easiest inning of the first 3 so far, as FIU had gotten 1 run in the first, 3 in the second. Here's now the 2-1 to Bellhorn. Fastball, he just missed it, fouled it straight back, and that evens the count now 2-2. Bellhorn, an outstanding student as well. He's a 2-time all-conference academic member. Here's the 2-2, just low. Boy, Rodriguez tried to spot it on the outside corner. Vetter just couldn't frame it. And it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch. Lost him. Bellhorn draws the walk.
Left fielder,
That's the
number
5th
20,
of the
Eric
day
Johnson.
allowed by Rodriguez. He allowed 3 last inning.
Yeah, Jose Rodriguez is not endearing himself to the coaching staff or frankly his teammates, because you don't get good defense behind you, as we saw the error after the third walk of the second inning. Your infielders and outfielders, they get on their heels instead of on the balls of their feet. Their reflexes are a little bit slower when you labor out there pitch after pitch after pitch, and you know he's trying to throw strikes.
Eric Johnson beats one in the ground to short, and they get the double play. Good play, Silva. Excellent turn by Diaz. 6-4-3, and that cleans the bases.
Well, the best friend a pitcher can come up with is that double play grounder right after a walk. Rodriguez comes out and bores one in there. Really didn't get it inside like he wanted to, but Johnson tried to pull that pitch that was out away from him instead of going the other way with it. And when you pull a pitch on the outer half, you're bound to ground it left side.
The 30th double play of the year for the Golden Panthers, and Adrian Cardenas up for his second plate appearance. Looks at a strike on the outside corner. Here you see Golden Panthers, Golden Gloves indeed. Number 2 defensive team in the Trans-America Conference, or number 1 defensive team in the Trans-America Conference. Number 1 in fielding, number 1 in runs allowed, 3rd in ERA, number 1 in batting average. Pretty good club.
And they're 5-5.
And what's up with that? That means it's a pretty good conference. 1-2 down low. Cardenas works the count even at 2-2. Walked and scored the first UCF run of the game last inning when the Golden Knights brought 8 men to the plate. 2-2 swing and a miss. And with the double play, gorgeous Saturday afternoon. We're playing 2 today in the Trans-America Conference as we move to the top of the 4th inning for FIU. Golden Panthers with a 4-2 lead. It's Molina, Ruiz, and Diaz. Numbers 9, 1, and 2 for Danny Price. You see Jimmy singled his first time up. 1 for 1 so far today as Bellhorn tries to match a relatively easy inning like he had in the 3rd. Missed with a breaking ball outside, and it's 2-1. Fastball low, now 3-1.
It just seems like the location of the curveball has set up everything for Todd Bellhorn. When it's up, either in hitting position or out of the strike zone, he falls behind guys and struggles. When he gets it down in the zone, he's been very tough.
That breaking ball fouled back and out of play, so the count full now on Molina. This is a guy, he's almost like a number 1 hitter in that he makes good contact, runs the bases very well, leads the team, in fact, with 21 stolen bases. So Molina, a guy out of the 9-hole that really is able to set the table very well, although he grounds this one out to Williamson at second. 1 up, 1 down now in the FIU 4th.
Left fielder, number 22, Ramon Ruiz.
Here's how we started it. One batter, the first batter, in fact, in the top of the 1st inning, Ramon Ruiz lifted a towering fly ball. Will Kraut back indeed. Slammed against the fence. Ruiz, that towering home run to lead off the game, got FIU started in the right way indeed. Ruiz now up for his third appearance of the day. After that homer, hit into a fielder's choice in the 2nd. But did eventually come around to score. Here's the 1-0. A little bit low. 2-0.
And he also made a fine defensive play.
Oh, sure did.
Second inning when Central Florida had something going on. He came in and made a play on a sinking line drive in left field. Otherwise, the Knights would have had more than 2 in that 2nd inning.
Well, that's a good breaking ball. Ruiz had a big cut and missed it. Boy, as our director, good job. Will Smith, Rich Wolf, great job in the truck today as you call about that defensive play. And we got it queued up for you as Ruiz rips one the other way. Nice play that time by Frank Fusil on a line shot. And Fusil makes a nice play. 2 down now for FIU in the 4th.
Well, Frank Fusil's a 5th-year senior. He's been around. He's played a lot of baseball out here for the Knights of Central Florida. The key on this play, on the sinking line drive, get the angle from the beginning. If you get a good start and take the right angle, you can make a tough play look easy, as Fusil just did.
Change misses down and away to Diaz, who grounded out in the 1st and hit a big 2-out, 2 RBI double in the 2nd. And Diaz has already had a nice day. Takes up and away with a fastball. Here's the 2-0, a high fastball that is driven by Cardenas in 3rd and into left field. Another 2-out opportunity now for FIU here in the 4th.
Well, I like Diaz at the plate. This is a guy who goes up there looking for a pitch to hit. He's rather selective, but when he sees something in the zone, he goes after it aggressively. Had the 2-run double in the 2nd inning. This time gets one up and in and decides, hey, I can tomahawk that thing, and pulls it right by Cardenas.
Here's Jason Vetter. Looks to keep it alive with 2 outs here in the 4th. Bellhorn to the plate, misses low and away for ball 1.
Diaz has 16 stolen bases, so if you're going to run with 2 out, this is a good opportunity to do it. Bellhorn does not have a great move to 1st and does not hold runners on all that well.
As we mentioned earlier, FIU runs the bases pretty well. Golden Panthers have stolen 77 bases this year. And now with a runner going, they have the pitch out at 1st and got him nailed. So Diaz caught stealing, and that will end the FIU 4-2 FIU as we move to the bottom of the 4th, and FIU retired in the top. Nice move by Bellhorn over at 1st.
Well, the runner, Tony Diaz, is going on 1st motion, whatever it happens to be, and Bellhorn was headed over that way. So against lefties, very often you just guess on that. I thought the key to the play, though, was the first baseman, Pacitti, came way off the bag to shorten the length of that throw from Bellhorn. That gave him a great angle to throw the runner out at 2nd base.
Things have calmed down considerably in the last inning and a half after a wild first couple. Bottom of the 4th now. UCF has Fusil, Connor, and Crowd 8, 9, and 1 in the order up. Fusil showed bunt, pulled it back, and that fastball right in there. Fusil giving a kind of the hairy eyeball to home plate umpire Richard Gray. That looked like a pretty good pitch.
I suspect he'll give it right back. It was in tight, but when you act to bunt, it seems tighter.
That breaking ball missed down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the count on Fusil. Singled and scored his first time up in the 2nd inning. 2-1 fastball low. 3-1. Now Rodriguez, as I mentioned, UCF sent 5 batters to the plate in the 1st, 8 in the 2nd. Nice double play helped Rodriguez get the Knights in order in the 3rd, and he comes out struggling again, missed with a breaking ball, and for the 2nd consecutive inning has walked the leadoff batter.
Catcher.
That is his 6th walk allowed today.
Well, the FIU pitching staff, even though they got the win in yesterday's 15-14 fiasco, they walked 12 batters in that ball game. So Golden Panther pitchers have now issued 18 walks in 12 innings of work.
What was that last night? 29 runs. Was it 31 hits?
21 walks.
21 walks. Whew. Wow.
From 2 really unhappy pitching coaches.
That is the truth. That is the truth. There's Kavanaugh again. He was up and throwing back in the 2nd, comes up again. Now UCF in a sacrifice situation. Catcher Jeff Connor going to try to do the honors with Fusil out at 1st base, and UCF again, as we mentioned, this just a 7-inning game. Both games today, the 7-inning variety as mandated by Trans-America Conference rules. So very, very important as we're midway through this thing for UCF to try to manufacture a run. Timeout now having been called by Fusil and the UCF trainer out there. Looks like Fusil might have gotten a bit of the eye black actually in his eye.
That eye black really doesn't do anything, does it?
Hate it when that happens.
I just think that stuff so you look cool.
1-0 right in there as Connor backed away, but there's a fastball right on the inside corner. Now make it 1-1. Rodriguez again. Little bit of a problem here. The leadoff man aboard, nobody out in the 4th. There's the bunt, and that is a beauty right down the first base line. LeBron up to make the play and make the tag. Nice sacrifice by Jeff Connor. Moves Fusil down to second and into scoring position with only 1 out.
Number 7.
Nice job again. It's called sacrifice for a reason. Give yourself up. He got the bat extended, and a good job by LeBron as well to come down off the bag, make sure he could glove it and make the tag rather than risk a throw.
Now Will Crowd, as we go back to the top of the order, comes up for his 3rd appearance. Struck out and walked in his previous 2. This is the guy that, as you were mentioning earlier, Larry, somebody for UCF just needs to step up and make it happen. More times than not, it's Will Crowd.
Well, he can get on. He can hurt you in a lot of ways. Has a little bit of pop in the bat. He can steal bases.
Hits this one hard, and then it's going to go to the wall in left field. Coming around to score is Frank Fusil, and chugging in to second base with a stand-up RBI double is Will Crowd. 23rd RBI of the year for Crowd, and he's cut this lead to 4-3.
Nice job by Crowd. Got a pitch he could pull and yanked it on in. Might have injured himself rounding first, however. Maybe a little muscle strain as he comes around first base. We'll check that out. But there he got a pitch up in the zone, just pulled it down the left field line. Ruiz well off the line, had no chance but to pick it up and toss it on in as Fusil scores the 3rd run for the Knights.
That's the 12th double of the year for Crowd. Takes over the team lead in that category. He, Johnson, and Brisson all had 11 doubles coming into today's game. Make it a dozen for Crowd and make it a 4-3 lead now for FIU. And it looks like, yeah, you see Crowd holding on to his left hip there. Not sure exactly what happened. Is Jay Bergman going to go out and have a chat with Chris Darby? Also now going to check on Will Crowd.
That's an indication of a slight groin pull, and how severe will determine whether or not he's able to continue. And you know he's going to want to stay in the game after just getting that RBI double. You see him hobbling in a second, doing his Walter Brennan impersonation. But what happened was, it looked like when he rounded first, he might have slipped. And often you'll get that pull when you one foot slips out, you try to catch your balance and maintain speed, but hopefully he'll be okay and we'll be able to continue.
That's assistant coach Greg Frady out there with him as well, as now Coach Colvey, or Mark Calvey I should say, comes out, and Rodriguez, they're going to make the change here. Calvey's going to make the change, and we will get a new pitcher for Florida International. Is the club 6-2 record with 3 saves, a 2.44 ERA.
Kavanaugh, big guy, as you can see. He came in and saved last night's ball game. Their normal closer, Keith Shives, didn't have his good stuff, so Kavanaugh, usually a middle to setup guy, came in and got the save in last night's ball game, his 3rd of the year. But his job is to get this game to the 6th, maybe even the 7th inning, and put Shives in a position where he can get the save for FIU. But right now he's got the tying run in scoring position. in the fourth inning with two down, or early in this bottom half of the fourth inning with just one out. So the first order of business is not to worry about the save. It's to try to keep Crowd at second base.
No doubt. We've got more college baseball for you tomorrow right here on Sunshine Network. A big SEC matchup over in Gainesville at McKeithen Stadium. The Florida Gators entertaining Kentucky at 1:30, and then Florida State, Georgia Tech. Seminoles had a big come from behind win against Tech. You will see Florida at 1:30, Florida State at 7 o'clock right here on Sunshine. What, did Brad Wilkerson ever come back in a big way for the Gators after having a tough trip to Tennessee?
Last night, Wilkerson pitched for Florida. You'll see him in the lineup tomorrow right here on Sunshine, but you won't see him on the mound. A complete game, struck out 13 as Florida got a desperately needed victory. They have been struggling. You go to Vandy and get swept, you are struggling. And apparently they are not going to be able to get.
Yeah, Will Crowd is going to come out of the game. And it will be Sneed.
Gentlemen, pitch running at second base for Will Crowd.
5'11" sophomore.
Number 3, Essex Sneed.
Essex Sneed out of Williston, Florida.
Now batting, second baseman, number 12, Pat Williamson.
That's over Gainesville way. And yeah, they're going to stretch out Crowd over there on the, because one thing, you get your pinch runner in here. What you want to try to do now, get Crowd ready for game 2.
Absolutely, and if you let it tighten up, it's just going to be that much longer before he's able to go. So he'll probably be stretching and working all the way through the remainder of this ball game.
Now Pat Williamson, the first batter facing Kavanaugh, takes a breaking ball in there for strike one. Williamson has walked in each of his first 2 plate appearances today. Still right at that 400 average.
Well, Essex Sneed is used to being a pinch runner. This is his 35th game. He's only had 19 at-bats.
Another good breaking ball. Williamson just got a piece of it off the end of the bat. And he is behind now 0-2. Sneed also, while being one of the fastest players on the team, may be the clown prince.
Oh, there's no
of
question
the
about
UCF
that.
club this year, too. A guy that is really handy with a squirt gun.
He was watering down his teammates prior
yes,
to the
he
ball
was.
game.
Here's the 0-2 to Williamson. Kavanaugh missed with a breaking ball, and it's 1-2. You mentioned Kavanaugh. Larry got a relief appearance last night. Picked up the save. Threw only 10 pitches. But the key was threw them for strikes. That was something that pitchers on wearing both uniforms had problems doing late in that baseball game.
I'll tell you, that's the key. It all starts with that for any pitcher. You can go with velocity, and you might want an 88 or a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. You might want a great breaking pitch, really deceptive changeup, but you can put it all away if you don't get it in the strike zone. Throw strikes, change speeds, work fast. That's basically the mantra of Ray Miller, one of the great pitching coaches of all time.
Right. Breaking ball, got him. Caught Williamson looking right across the inside corner with a good-looking curveball. Kavanaugh comes in and gets the strikeout on Williamson.
There you see it right there on the inside part of the plate. Williamson didn't think so, but he's now had 3 appearances and he's walked twice and struck out. So he will put that bat to use before the day is over.
And it's going to take a 2-out hit if UCF's going to tie things up. Eric Riggs, the shortstop up now, takes outside, ball 1. Riggs singled in the first, reached on an error in the second. Boy, he has been red hot. 17 multi-hit games as he takes a curveball strike, despite the fact, as we talked about, he had struggled a bit from moving to second to short. Still, 17 multi-hit games is outstanding. Kavanaugh backs off, takes a look at Sneed. Nothing doing out there. Essex back very easily. The shortstop, Silva, playing almost in the hole. There's a huge gap, expecting obviously Riggs to pull the ball, which he does. Rips this one foul and wakes up the UCF bullpen fellas over there along the fence.
I tell you, got to pay attention.
Yes, sir. Eric Riggs, last year as a freshman, came one game short of tying the all-time school record hitting streak. Had an 18-game hitting streak as a freshman. A couple of freshmen in there contributing big time this year, and I talked with Jay Bergman about that. He says, hey, if I'm going to recruit you as a freshman, I'm not going to recruit you to sit on the bench. I'm going to expect you to come here and be able to play. That's a guy that knows talent. Now Riggs going to call time there. Kavanaugh slowing the pace down just a bit. Riggs not happy about that. As you see, FIU now with the lead having been trimmed to 1. And the 1-2 to Riggs. Got him swinging. Boy, does Kavanaugh do the job. Consecutive strikeouts to Williamson. Joe Kramer, numbers 3, 4, and 5 in the FIU batting order. Will Crowd did indeed, obviously, after the pinch runner came in, Snead came in. Will Crowd out of this baseball game. He'll try to come back for the second. Vetter lifts a fly ball high in the air to left. Eric Johnson over and makes the play for out number 1. His outfield teammates, however, have moved in position. Frank Fusil has moved from right field over to play center field now. Greg Pacitti has moved from first base out to right, and Dustin Brisson is now at first base for the Golden Knights. Here's LeBron. 1 for 2 on the day. Hit a little Texas leaguer double in the first that just dropped. It was a little lazy fly ball that dropped right in between Johnson and Crowd and grounded out in the second. So Francisco 1 for 2 thus far today. The change missed down and away. 2 balls and no strikes now. The count on LeBron. Hit his 4th home run of the season last night. Took a big cut, but this a 2-hopper out to Riggs, who makes the play. Over to Brisson at first, and 2 up, 2 down in the FIU 5th. Boy,
Right fielder.
LeBron doesn't leave anything in the dugout, does he?
No, he gets a big swing, but he just does not make consistent enough contact, and as a result, just a little grounder to short.
Here you see your defensive changes now, as we told you. Fusil from right to center, Pacitti from first to right, and Brisson, who plays a lot of first base, has come in now to take over there. Fastball strike to Joe Kramer, the right fielder for FIU. Hit by a pitch his first time up. Grounded out to lead off the third. Comes up now with 2 down in the 5th. Boy, Bellhorn, after the second inning, Larry, has done a terrific job. And as I say that, Joe Kramer rips a line drive double down the left field line. Johnson tracks it down, but not before Kramer indeed chugs into second base with a stand-up double.
Well, in the last 2 2/3 innings, he's allowed only 2 hits, and both have come with 2 outs. A 2-out single by Diaz, and that's a good pitch. Really, it was down and in. Nice job by Kramer to just go down and get it. Pulled it down the line for a double. But Bellhorn has gotten ahead of hitters, and he's gotten the early outs in an inning. You can give up a hit every inning if you want, as long as you get it with 2 outs, and that's what he's doing. Jay Bergman wants to ask Connor something about Bellhorn. And now he goes out and talks to his left-hander.
That is the 8th double of the year for Joe Kramer, 3rd on the club. As you see, the right-handed sidewinder warming up for the Golden Knights. That is Jimmy Papa, the 6'1 senior from Ocala, who has a little papa in that right arm.
Wow.
Okay. I was reaching.
Reaching?
Help me out here, partner. Here's Hiram Silva.
There are step ladders and there are extension ladders.
Oh, tough crowd. His fielder's choice ended the first, and Hiram struck out in the third. 0 for 2 today. Is Silva comes up now with 2 down. First pitch fastball lifted high in the air to right. Pacitti under it and makes the play for out number 3. So the double goes for naught, and we're through 4. Great crowd last night, too, on a cool Friday night. And boy, if the fans who stuck around were treated to one of the odder come-from-behind victories that UCF has surrendered all year long.
Yeah, it wasn't really a treat, but they got to see it anyway.
Yeah.
FIU scored 7 in the ninth.
Well, the Panther fans loved it. Pacitti, Bellhorn, and Johnson, 4, 5, and 6 in the UCF order, scheduled here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3 more shots for UCF. Kavanaugh pulls the string a bit. Great location outside corner for strike one. 1-1 now. The count to Pacitti.
And this is where the psyche of a 7th inning game takes over. Instead of a 9-inning game, you're not really the bottom of the 5th. In essence, you're the bottom of the 7th.
Oh boy, that is a great looking change right there from Kavanaugh. Pacitti way out in front now. And it's 1-2.
Well, he's a big guy, so you expect the heat. He comes straight over the top. Great arm motion on that pitch. Didn't slow down the arm at all.
There's the 1-2 breaking ball, just missed. Boy, there was some late snap on that, working down and into the left-hander. But Pacitti holds off, and the count evens now at 2-2. And obviously for UCF, what you've got to do is try to get deeper into this bullpen. Don't allow Kavanaugh to go out there and dominate and perhaps close this thing out. As Kavanaugh misses low now, the count run full to 3-2.
Well, the one difference between these teams today that stands out is the bullpen. FIU right now much deeper in the pen, healthier,
No
better
question.
rested.
Good point.
And so they can afford to go to the pen much more early than Jay Bergman can.
Payoff pitch ripped deep to right, and that ball is out of here. Greg Pacitti has hit his 8th home run of the year. RBI number 36, a solo shot to lead off the 5th inning, and this game is tied at 4.
Well, great job by Pacitti. He gets one on a 3-2 pitch, and it's exactly what he's looking for. A left-handed hitter with power is going to get a little bit of help from the wind, but he didn't need any this time.
Oh, sir.
Take a look. It's a fastball right over the heart of the plate.
Oh, that's a BP pitch right there. Joe Kramer just turns, and that ball knocks a couple of fronds out of the palm tree. That ball was killed by Greg Pacitti. We're tied at 4. Oh, yeah. And he knew it from the moment it left the bat. Here's Bellhorn up now, takes a breaking ball from Kavanaugh over for a strike.
Kind of gave a little Reggie on that one, didn't he? Drop
He
that
did.
back instantly.
Yeah, he did. We're tied at 4 now. Still nobody out. That breaking ball missed high, and it's now 2-1. Bellhorn is, we told you, one of the best athletes, maybe the best athlete on this entire club. And as you made the excellent point earlier, Larry, just a credit to his mental toughness to be able to get ready to pitch one day, play right field one day, be a DH one day. He takes a strike there, and now the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, it takes discipline, but more than anything, it takes ability. You just got to have talent. You got to have a lot of want to. This is a kid who's got it.
Payoff pitch, and he lost him. Kavanaugh ran the off-speed pitch just a little bit inside, so Bellhorn works Kavanaugh for the base on balls.
Number 20, Eric
One out,
Johnson.
or nobody out rather, for Eric Johnson. 1 run in that has tied this game at 4. Boy, UCF has made the most of its 4 base hits, but FIU, you look at those walks, the one error was big. Here's Eric Johnson, who is 0 for 2 today, fouled out his first time up. Joe Kramer made a nice play just outside the stripe down the right field line to retire Johnson in the second. He hit into a double play in the third. He'll work Bellhorn back now. I make Bellhorn run back and forth about 10 times out there, I think.
Yeah, and you want to tell LeBron, tag him with authority. Tag him on the left shoulder as often as you can.
There you go. Sacrifice opportunity here for Johnson, who bunts it foul down the third base side.
Well, the definitive word there is sacrifice, Barry. If you're called upon to sacrifice, don't try to drop a bunt. Eric Johnson's a catcher and a part-time left fielder. He's not going to be beating this thing out.
Right.
So go ahead, square up, and put that ball in play and advance the runner. That time he tried to drop one right down the line, and it rolled foul.
Rodriguez in on the grass over at third. Bellhorn, as you might imagine, very short lead over at first. The 0-1, Johnson squares, and again the bunt attempt rolls foul, picked up by Rodriguez, and now an 0-2 count on Eric Johnson.
Well, fundamentally it was a better effort in terms of the bunt, but just trying to do a little bit too much with it. Watch him square around, gets that bat out. That's a good thing. All he did is aim too close to the line. He did everything else well on that bunt, but didn't give himself any margin for error. It started right up the line and then kicked foul.
Aim too much. You're right. They'll try it again, will they? With the 0-2? Yes, they will. He went after it, strikeout, and now they got Bellhorn in a pickle. Oh, boy. He makes no contact, and they tag out Bellhorn. Oh, that's a big mistake both ways. As the sacrifice on, Johnson not able to make any contact, and Bellhorn caught between first and second is tagged out by Hiram Silfa.
Well, just about everything you can do wrong on that play was done wrong. First of all, just take the pitch. He lunges at it, gives himself up, and then Bellhorn in a run down, and he says, the heck with it. I'm not going to get in this thing for any length of time. I've got a couple more innings to pitch.
That's right, which was a good decision. 2 down now for Adrian Cardenas, who has walked and struck out in his first 2 appearances today. Hitting now .279 on the season. Bases cleared. There's a strike, and it's 1-1 to Adrian. Cardenas starting his 36th game of the year. Breaking ball fouled out of play on the right side. UCF dugout trying to get something going. This is a quiet team, maybe the quietest team that Jay Bergman ever has. He says that some of the bus trips are amazing. I mean, there's very little conversation, not a lot of those holler guys on this roster. He's got a couple of guys who just try to lead by example. Not very many vocal leaders on this baseball club. Jay's probably the most vocal guy in that dugout. There's a fastball that's ripped into center field, but very well played by Ruiz. And the Knights are done in the 5th. But Pacity's home run ties it up. We're through 5 complete. And the score now, FIU 4, UC. Second home run of the ball game. Again, the leadoff variety, Ramon Ruiz, led off the game in the top of the 1st with a homer. Now Rodriguez leads off the 6th with a homer.
Todd Bellhorn had allowed just 3 home runs in 56 innings coming into this ball game, but 2 today.
There's a strike on the outside corner and make the count 3-1. So Larry, again, in terms of momentum, boy, just when you scrap, you do everything possible, you get back into this game and tie things up. Just like that, leadoff homer, you're behind again. Fastball missed. Mahoney draws the walk. Just the second walk allowed.
20, Jim Molina.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Danny Price wants to play it. Again, we're in the 6th inning, which in a 7-inning ball game, in essence, you're in the 8th. You've got this at-bat and 1 more. You want a little breathing room. Do you hit and run? Do you sacrifice? Molina, a guy, should have very good bat control up there. Mahoney, a big guy at first, but he runs reasonably well.
You saw Jimmy Papa still up and throwing, is ready to go. Fastball to Molina over the inside corner for a strike. Molina singled in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th. Over to first. Bellhorn keeping an eye on Sean Mahoney there. Nobody out. We're in the top of the 6th with the leadoff homer. FIU has regained the lead. You want to try and keep it right there. Breaking ball way up and high out of the strike zone. And Molina had squared to bunt and pulled it back.
Well, sometimes when you have an 0-1 and the guy didn't show bunt, you know you're in a bunt situation, you might miss badly on purpose just to make sure that Molina commits, shows that he is going to sacrifice.
Again, he does, and this one fouled at the plate. I feel like Bellhorn changed speeds just a little bit. Not necessarily a straight change type pitch, but he took just a little something off. Molina fouled it away at the plate. That was pitch number 89 for Bellhorn. Number 81, though, was the one that cost him. Over to first again goes Bellhorn.
And we'll see if Molina is still bunting with 2 strikes on him. Used to be taboo. You just wouldn't do it because if you bunted foul, it's strike 3. But more and more coaches are willing to give him a shot. It's an easier bunt to get down. The pressure defensively is much less usually.
Well, he gave that a shot. Are we going to get an appeal? Yeah, they'll say he didn't go. I'll tell you, Jimmy Molina awfully close. Check this again on the replay.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, that looks like strike 3 in my book.
Almost looked like the ball knocked the bat back. I mean, there was no contact, but he waited as long as he could to get that bat back and got away with it.
You know, you saw the forward motion, and he did pull it back. Home plate umpire Richard Gray never hesitated. We will get the bunt attempt again. No question about that. Breaking ball way outside. Full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bellhorn now laboring a bit to find the strike zone.
You got a guy trying to give himself up. You got to let him do it.
Exactly.
Give him that opportunity. See if your defense can make a play for you.
3-2. Swinging away this time is Molina, and that is fouled over near the UCF bullpen. So the count will remain full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Jimmy Molina with a run in and a runner at first and nobody out here in the 6th inning. Boy, and you just have, you know, we talk about the intangibles again, just the emotion of the way you lose the first game on Friday. Now you try and battle back here. You wonder just if UCF, as they get him now, they nail. Boy, that's a good move. Good move by Bellhorn. Mahoney picked off over there at first. Never even lost his footing and never even made it back.
Well, again, that's not a straight steal. You're taking off on a 3-2 pitch. You've got to make sure he goes home, and Mahoney didn't do that, and he was out by 5 feet.
And now Molina rips one. Comerford, what a play. Matt Comerford just into the game this inning. Makes a terrific over-the-shoulder catch of a hard-hit ball by Jimmy Molina. And after the pickoff, there are now 2 Panthers retired in the 6th. Well, that's a heck of a play.
Molina got a good pitch to hit and drove it. Comerford took a bad angle, had to adjust, but then drifting back over his shoulder to make the grab.
Well, I'm not sure Eric Johnson, again, the catcher who was playing left, I'm not sure Eric Johnson makes that play.
Well, he was so close to the warning track, he wouldn't have had to move nearly as far.
That's true.
He was awfully deep back there.
That is true. Good point. Back to the top of the order we go now for the FIU left fielder Ramon Ruiz. 1 for 3 today, having homered to start this baseball game. Big swing, chops it just foul. Cardenas over there in foul territory gloves it. 5-4 your score. Just to finish the point I had started earlier in terms of the momentum and the confidence factors here. If UCF not able to win this one, you got to wonder how much they're going to have left for the 3rd and final game of this series, of course, coming up next here on Sunshine. High fly ball into right field. Pacitti settles under it. Tough play with the breeze, and he dropped it. He dropped it. It rolls to the wall. Pacitti cannot make the play. And going all the way to 3rd is Ramon Ruiz.
When you hear the coaches yelling at guys, use both hands. Get both hands up there on a catch. Pacitti that time, I think the wind hurt him. The wind was playing tricks with the ball a little bit. He's drifting back. So that's a routine play, and he even got it in the glove and didn't close it.
Oh. You see the wind has certainly picked up as we show you there. Pacitti, who just moved from first base out to right field this inning, just flat misplayed it. The ball was playing him, and Pacitti was trying to drift back. He should have been hustling back the way that wind is blowing.
And now Jay Bergman's going to go out and talk to Bellhorn, and this is just to settle him down. Okay, you can't do anything about it. The ball should have been caught. Fine, forget about it. You've got a runner at third. It's a very important batter for Bellhorn to deal with, Tony Diaz, whether he does it or whether they go to Papa. And apparently Papa will get the call to try to get out of this inning with a big insurance run over there at third base.
Jimmy Papa, the man given the ball. We'll tell you about Papa when we come back. 5-4 FIU leading UCF. Walks, 2-hit batsman. Allowed 5 runs on 8 hits. There you see Ruiz over at third. Papa low and way outside. That's a nice play by Jeff Connor to keep that one from getting away. And here's Tony Diaz. Grounded out in the first, and since then has been a terror. Doubled, drove into, scored a run in the second, singled in the fourth. High chopper out to Riggs. Nice play. They get him by a step, but not before FIU comes up with the lead on a homer by Jeff Rodriguez, and the Panthers leave one. We go on. That would put the Golden Panthers a half game ahead of UCF in the standings.
And those standings very important for those top 2 spots, along with Florida Atlantic and Stetson, who are playing again today. 2 teams will get to host in that first phase of the tournament. I don't even know if you can call it a first round, the first phase.
It is
where
a
the
phase.
top 2 in each division host the 3rd and 4th teams from different divisions, best 2 out of 3. You want to be home.
Here's Frank Fusil facing Raymond Cavanaugh. Fusil takes a strike on the outside corner. The count now 1-1. Fusil's had a good day out of that 8th spot. Singled and scored in the second. Walked and scored in the fourth. Here's the 1-1. Boy, that's a good looking breaking ball. Right in there. And Fusil falls behind now 1-2. Cavanaugh, as we mentioned, came on in relief last night, pitched well, only 10 pitches, so he had plenty left to bring to the hill today. And he gets Fusil swinging. Good breaking ball down and away from the right-hander. Strikeout for Cavanaugh. That is his 4th of the day and 6th for FIU pitching.
I think of the 4 strikeouts, that 4 out of the 6 outs he has recorded.
Yeah.
He's also allowed a line out, a home run, and a walk to batters he has faced since coming in.
Now we get a pinch hitter for UCF. This will be number 36, Joe Bacheri, 5'10" freshman out of Dunellen. Will come in and bat for Jeff Connor. Bacheri facing Cavanaugh, swings and misses at a changeup for strike 1. Bacheri making his 21st appearance, has 3 starts, has hit the ball very well. This time grounds one. Nice play by LeBron to Cavanaugh. Oh, what a play. What a play by Cavanaugh. LeBron made a nice backhanded stab and made a tough throw way behind Cavanaugh, who has the tremendous balance and ability to still catch that ball and tag first.
That's when LeBron probably should have gone to first base and let the second baseman Diaz handle it. Running away, that's a tough throw. Backhands it. Oh, boy, I tell you, he stretched. Talk about groin pull, which took Will Crowd out of the game earlier. You can suffer one on a play just like that. But Cavanaugh, an outstanding fielding play to keep that from becoming a base runner.
And here is Dustin Brisson, who came on to play first base, batting now in the 1 spot. Brisson has swung and missed at 2 pitches, both of which probably were out of the strike zone. So Brisson now down 0-2. He has really struggled against lefties this year, struggling now a bit against Cavanaugh, the righty. Here's another outstanding freshman, though, and Brisson from Willington, Florida. Takes low. Was listed as one of Baseball America's top 100 high school prospects a year ago and looks at a call, third strike. What a job Kavanaugh did in that inning. 2 strikeouts and a great defensive play. 1 inning to go in game 1 of this double dip, and we go to the top of the 7th with FIU leading at 5-4. Florida International with perhaps its final at bat. 5-4 lead over Central Florida. Jimmy Papa, 1-1 count after that strike to Jason Vetter, the FIU catcher, who is 1 for 3 today with an RBI single back in the 2nd inning. That ball is hard hit. Tough hop played well by Williamson at second. 1 up, 1 down now on the FIU 7. After the pinch hitter for Connor last inning, John Ogden has come on now to catch in the 7th for UCF. Ogden making his 28th appearance of the year. Started 12 games. He's had considerable playing time for Jay Bergman. Now here's Francisco Lebron hitting .278 now. 1 for 3 thus far today. Takes off speed from Papa for ball 1. Boy, there's a good looking pitch right on the inside corner. In on the hands of LeBron. That's where you have to try and place it to LeBron. You're going to keep him in trouble there. He's a guy that likes to get it out over the plate, get those big arms extended. He works him right in there again, and LeBron behind 1 and 2.
And you've got to force yourself to pitch inside against a big guy, but LeBron stands reasonably close to the plate. A lot of big guys will stand further away and make it more of a threat for you to pitch inside and kind of dive into the plate like a Frank Thomas does. LeBron is almost that size.
6'5", 240. Francisco LeBron.
I got to see Frank Thomas in college. He was not bad.
Oh yeah. Papa's worked him inside with a steady diet of breaking balls, and now the count run full 3-2. Payoff pitch. Curve ball hit high in the air to Pacetti, who this time is able to come forward and make the play for out number 2.
With both hands, no less.
A little more deliberate on that put out was Greg Pacetti.
Well, Pacetti, I believe the third guy due up next inning. He homered his last time up and may be in a position to, will definitely be in a position to at least tie it and possibly try to win it for the Knights.
You're exactly right. 2, 3, and 4 will be up in the bottom of the 7th for UCF. Now Joe Kramer tries to keep things going, but he lifts one. Same spot. Pacetti makes the play. It's a 1-2-3 7th for FIU. Central Florida tries to tie it or perhaps win it when we come back.
The Bionic Man, Ike Austin, brings the Heat into Orlando, wrestling for Sunshine Hoop supremacy. The Heat clash with the Magic, Saturday at 5:30 on Sunshine.
Robert Duncanson celebrated a Time Warner Cable magical moment recently when he was selected as TWC's Player of the Day.
How we ever came across this guy is amazing because big men are not secrets.
I see a possible future, and let's see what happens.
TWC applauds our Player of the Day and the Orlando Magic, providing enjoyment throughout the season. Keep watching to find out how you could be our next Magical Moments Player of the Day. Quality home entertainment is the name of the game at TWC.
It's about sportsmanship. There will be no mercy. Athletic camaraderie. Everybody better get out of my way. And respect for your fellow man.
Somebody's going to get their ass whipped.
It's WWF.
UCF trying to get those rally caps going. The Golden Knights out of the dugout here, trying to get a little momentum and, more importantly, trying to get a run across. UCF trailing FIU 5-4, bottom of the 7th now. Williamson, Riggs, Pacetti. That's what each of these teams have done. Florida International perfect, 6-0 in one-run games. Central Florida, as we told you, boy, the Golden Knights have really struggled. They've lost 12 out of 15 by a total of 21 runs this year. That has kind of been the book on UCF. They have been very, very competitive, been in every game. Danny Price trying to wrap up what would be victory number 34 on the season for FIU.
Well, the reason they're so successful in one-run games is the bullpen. Ray Kavanaugh, Keith Shivers, and Shives in particular. Now, Shives has not gotten up to loosen up. They're going to let Kavanaugh try to finish it as he finished off last night's ball game, and that would leave Shives in control down the stretch in game 2.
Well, he has struck out 5 of the 9 batters he has faced, but now he falls behind Williamson 3 balls and 1 strike. He just missed low. Williamson, the leadoff and tying run is aboard.
Well, again, you've got a 1-run lead. You put the tying run on base. Now you've got all kinds of options. This is when nobody wants to be a coach or a manager. You love it in the 5th inning when you want to hit and run or double steal or what have you. But now in the 9th, Riggs has 6 hits in this series already. Do you let him swing away? Do you bunt him over? If you bunt over, chances are Pacitti might get walked and you take the bat out of your best power source. Tough call for Jay Bergman how to play it.
The switch hitting Eric Riggs. Now facing Kavanaugh as Kavanaugh went over to first there, keeping an eye on Williamson. Again, Williamson 4 out of 5 in the stolen base category this year. To the plate, and it's a strike to Riggs. Halls of Fame featuring Reggie Jackson. Pretty good baseball player. We were talking about Reg earlier.
He could watch a homer.
He's getting more airtime today than he's had in a long time. That'll be coming up immediately after this baseball game, and then we'll be coming right back for game 2 of this doubleheader. Again, a critical doubleheader for both ball clubs. Florida International right now trying to put the wraps on a 5-4 win and ensure themselves at least of a 2 of 3 victory situation. Bouncing ball, LeBron to second for 1, over to first, not in time, and the ball got away, but a great job over at first base of backing up by Diaz. Boy, Diaz really hustled over there.
Let's watch second base. Let's see how close Silva is to second base when he catches the ball. About 3 feet. Talk about the neighborhood play. He wasn't even in the neighborhood. He was on the outskirts of the neighborhood looking in. Nice look from the truck, but Hiram Silva, knowing the way the game is officiated down at second, doesn't have to stick around, and gave him a chance to turn 2, but made a poor throw anyway.
1 down now for Pacitti, who parked 1 his last time up. Greg is 1 for 3 today. Hit it hard, but lined it to Diaz in the first. Flied out to center in the second, and hit a shot out of here way over the right field wall in the 5th. Really the only guy, Pacitti is the only guy that Kavanaugh has had any trouble with at all. Missed with a breaking ball low, ball 1.
And this is the great drama of baseball, when every pitch can be the last of the game and either team can win based on the outcome. A double play grounder, and FIU picks up win number 34. If Pacitti gets a hold of one, the Knights even this series at a game apiece.
1-0. Curveball. Boy, he hung it up there a little bit. It missed it just inside.
Boy, he's lucky that Pacitti chose to take that pitch. Borderline high breaking ball, but that's something you can turn on. Now Pacitti can sit dead red fastball out over the plate and look to drive it.
Tying run at first, the winning run at the plate. Boy, he laid one up there again. I'm not sure how Pacitti can not swing at that. 2 balls and 1 strike in the count.
Kavanaugh yet to give in. He's thrown 3 straight breaking pitches.
Snap throw back to first, nothing doing. Riggs back safely. Riggs, again, the tying run at first. Pacitti represents what would be the winning run if he's able to connect again. He's the only guy that's gotten a hit off Kavanaugh. Oh, another good-looking curveball. And it's 2-2.
Well, Kavanaugh does not want to give a fastball here. 2-1, you think, yeah, it'll be a fastball. Nope. Overhand curve, good bite on it. Now Pacitti's wondering.
2-2. He takes another big cut at a breaking ball. Diaz makes the play. Consecutive fielder's choices have been surrendered after the walk.
Number 8, Todd.
The only play there to first base as Riggs moves out to second and in scoring position, but now with 2 out.
Tony Diaz really showed some maturity and discipline there. He might have had a play at second base, but he's got confidence in his bullpen, made sure of getting the out, but the tying run is now in scoring position.
For Todd Bellhorn.
Wow.
Would this be some sort of poetic justice here if Bellhorn is able to drive in the run that keeps this game going? Bellhorn, of course, the starting pitcher today, relieved by Jimmy Papa. And a 1-0. Inside corner for a strike with a fastball.
That's where the pitchers have gotten a little bit more. Normally with any umpire, there's some place where you're getting a little extra, and it's been on the inside edge. You want to pitch in tight today. That's what the man behind the plate, Richard Gray's, been given. Let's see if Cavanaugh goes there again.
Here's the 1-1. Curveball and a good one over the inside corner. And now UCF down to perhaps its final strike. Riggs at second. The 1-2. Breaking ball. Hit up the middle for a base hit. Molina is coming hard. He will have no play at all. An RBI single in the bottom of the 7th by Todd Bellhorn ties this game at 5.
Great job by Bellhorn. He's behind on the count. A ball and 2 strikes. He's got to protect against anything.
Your attention, please.
You see the catcher, Vetter, sets up outside, and that ball's over the plate. That is a mistake by Cavanaugh. That should have been outside by a half a foot. Instead, it's right over the outer third. And an RBI single to tie this ball game. Well, that is a character hit, if ever there was one, for Todd Bellhorn.
And we'll get a pinch hitter now for UCF. Into the ball game is Scott Bernecki, who swings and misses at a fastball for strike 1. Bernecki hitting just .206, making his 39th appearance of the season. Has 3 home runs and 18 runs batted in. You're going to get a guy with left-handed power in there. You try to catch one and yank it. The 0-1, good-looking pitch right at the knees, and it's strike 2. Cavanaugh at the belt and to the plate. That one's hit up the middle for another base hit. Bellhorn will stop at second base. Boy, what a rally for UCF. The Golden Knights were down to their final strike. Bellhorn gets a base hit. Bernecki gets a pinch hit single, and now the winning run is at second base.
Well, Bernacki's up there as a youngster, only has 14 hits all season, but he stroked it right back where it came from. Again, Cavanaugh with 2 strikes. Count really in his favor. 0-2 pitch, and he leaves it out over the plate. And so Ray Cavanaugh gives up the base hit. Bellhorn goes down to second base, and UCF perhaps a single away from pulling out this ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning and evening the 3-game set.
Wouldn't that be something? A game last night leading 13-8 in the 8th inning that FIU comes back and wins. A game obviously you would figure that UCF has no business losing that game. This one perhaps just the opposite. You might figure UCF would have no business winning a game like this. But give credit where it is due. The Golden Knights on a 1-2 count. Bellhorn gets a hit. On an 0-2 count, Bernacki gets a hit. And now it's Adrian Cardenas trying to be the hero. Takes down and away for ball 1. Cardenas has a walk, a strikeout, and a line out to show for his 3 appearances so far. The 1-0 missed. Ball 2. No action in the FIU bullpen. There is your winning run, Todd Bellhorn. 2-0. Cardenas got it off the end of the bat, got a lot of it. It's way back, and it's caught on the warning track by Kramer. Oh, boy. Cardenas drives Kramer to the warning track, and we're going to extra innings. UCF comes up with a run on a couple of base hits. Having a conversation with his pitching coach, Mark Calvi, we have seen UCF come from behind in the 7th to tie this game. We will go to extra innings. There is the guy who was able to come up with a huge base hit. Starting pitcher Todd Bellhorn now moves into left field for Jay Bergman. So now, Larry, the DH is gone for UCF, and the pitcher will bat in that 6th spot.
Jimmy Papa now in the number 6 spot in the batting order. If he were to come up, they'd have to hit for him or let him go to the plate.
Because Bernanke batted for the left fielder, Eric Johnson. That 6th spot now becomes open. A base hit single right up the middle by Hiram Silva. Leads off the 8th inning. As we mentioned, of course, if you're tuning in late, this is the extra innings. Now we are in extra innings because we're playing 2 here at UCF today. 2 7-inning games.
Rodriguez.
Papa surrenders the leadoff single to Silva. And the go-ahead run aboard with nobody out in the 8th for third baseman Jeff Rodriguez. Rodriguez homered to lead off the 6th, which gave FIU its 5-4 lead.
That's the first base runner allowed by Papa. He retired 4 straight.
Oh, he had squared to bunt. That fastball ran in tight and caught Rodriguez right in the breadbasket. Check it on the replay.
Well, he's trying to give himself up. They won't let him. Right above the elbow.
Yeah,
protecting
took it on the arm.
breadbasket.
Yes, he was. Good move.
Of course, it only takes his elbow. For you and I, it takes 2 arms and chest protector. But now a great opportunity for FIU, and Papa's really got to bear down. 2 on, nobody out. Mahoney due up, a guy you wouldn't expect to bunt. He's got 8 home runs. Has not sacrificed this year.
Boy, Papa looked great in the 7th. Ground out, a couple of flyouts, getting FIU in order. Now surrenders a single to Silva. Hits Rodriguez. Nobody out. Oh, and he pops it straight up in the air. There's the inability by a power hitter, Mahoney. And you could tell he was completely uncomfortable. I don't think you let Mahoney try and
Look
bat.
how high the bat is. Look how high. Then he brings it down.
Right.
That pitch is up around the letters. You just let that one go and try to get a better one, but he pops to Papa. And there's 1 out.
So on that pop to Papa, we bring up Jimmy Molina. Hit the ball hard, lined out to Comerford. His last time up in the 6th inning. 2 on, 1 out. Took a big cut at the breaking ball and fouled it away at the plate now. Molina behind 0-1. There you see your FIU runners. Hiram Silva out at 2nd. Jeff Rodriguez at 1st. And the 0-1 will be forthcoming as Papa swung around there and chased Silva back to second base. Now the 0-1, a breaking ball that missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Papa transferred to UCF from Central Florida Community College. Native of Ocala, facing Jimmy Molina. 1-1. Boy, that breaking ball has some good pop on it, and it just missed a little bit low.
You're not getting the knee-high pitch There, that's a good-looking pitch. Yeah, it's not where he catches it, where it's crossing. He's got to get that one.
Molina has been as hot as anybody on this club lately. Was hitting .233 through the middle of the season, really struggling a little bit, but it has since gone 25 for 61 coming into today's game, over a 400 average. Double steal on, and Papa hits another one.
That is the fourth batter UCF pitchers have hit today, and it loads it up as he ran it way inside on the hip of Jimmy Molina.
Check it again. The fastball runs in tight. Yeah, and Molina, unlike Rodriguez, did everything he possibly could to get out of the way of that, but the bases are now loaded. And we're at the top of the order for Ramon Ruiz. Homered to lead off the game. That is his only hit of the day. Infield is in, and he hit another one. Oh, wow. Man. The go-ahead run comes in the person of Hiram Silva. Jimmy Papa has faced 5 batters this inning and has hit 3 of them.
Well, this is an RBI and a run bruised in. Looks like it glanced off his left hand. That is 3 hit batsmen in the last 4.
And
wow.
Oh, as you might imagine, Jay Bergman is going out to pull Papa. Jimmy Papa is out of there, and it will be number 30, Nate Leonard, who comes in now in relief. We'll tell you about Nate when we come back.
UCF, after scoring in the bottom of the 7th inning, they get the winning run to second base. And this has been the kind of game that Florida International and UCF play year in and year out. Back and forth. You never know what's going to happen next. And certainly here in the 8th inning, UCF's gotten a little unraveled. But if Leonard can get out of it, the Knights only need 1 to tie. So that's a very important situation here to keep in mind for UCF as they work on the bases loaded 1-out situation.
Each of the bottom third in the order, the 7, 8, 9 hitters have all been hit at least once. And there you see Ramos over at third, a pinch runner who has come in for Jeff Rodriguez. They've got some speed over there at third in the event of a fly ball by Diaz. Want to try and get that run in, although Tony Diaz, the batter at the plate now, 2 for 4 on the day, as Leonard down in the dirt and outside with a curveball for ball 1.
And Ramos is about the halftime third baseman anyway, and might have gone in for defensive purposes. So he will stay in the game and play third. Rodriguez is out.
Diaz bouncing ball to short. They go to second for 1 and get the out, and there is 1 run in. The pinch runner Ramos comes in to score. Arturo Ramos has scored run number 7 for FIU. Panthers now lead it by 2.
A nice job by Riggs just to get 1 out of that big bounder deep in the hole. That could have been a 2-run situation easily. Flagged it down first of all to make sure it didn't get through. That's a big bounder. It's what you want in that situation. Has to backhand throws quickly, and well, if it's close, it goes to the fielder at second base today.
Now runners at the corners as Ramos has come in to score. Molina has moved over to third. Diaz now at first. 2 out for Jason Vetter, the FIU catcher, who is 1 for 4 today. And he takes a strike from Nate Leonard. Vetter singled. It was an RBI single back in the 2nd inning for his only hit. Now John Ogden comes out, calls some defensive signals to the infield.
And that's in the event Diaz runs. How are they going to play it? Are they going to try to throw him out? They've got to keep an eye on the runner at third, Molina.
Leonard to the plate. Runner is going. No throw down. He fakes the throw, so it'll be a stolen base for Tony Diaz, his 17th of the year, which is number 2 on the ball club.
And it takes away that force. You think of the last play. They had the force at second that got them an out. Now they can't get that on a bounder in the hole. They're going to have to throw out Vetter, who, fortunately for UCF, doesn't run well.
Good move by Vetter. Had that curveball been any more inside at all, Vetter would have taken it off the shoulder. As it stands, it's a ball inside, and the count now 1-2. Runners at second and third. 2 out. FIU with a couple here in the 8th. Curveball, and it's hit through the left side. 1 run is in. After the steal, Diaz is in. 4 runs in the inning. A big 2-out, 2 RBI single by Jason Vetter, who now has 36 runs batted in on the year, and the Golden Panthers have broken it open here in the 8th.
Number 27, Francisco LeBron.
Well, that was the key out. Even with 2 runs, you feel like you got a reasonable shot. 4's a lot tougher. It's a 1-2 pitch, and it's just pulled through the left side. Big hole over there. Not where you want to deliver it. And so both Diaz and Vetter, the 2 and 3 hitters in the lineup, 3 RBI apiece in this ball game.
3 hit batsmen in the inning. Only 2 base hits. 4 runs are in, and Francisco LeBron takes a strike. There you saw the catcher Jason Vetter, who's come up with a huge hit. LeBron drills a single right up the middle, and the inning is not over yet. Francisco LeBron with his 2nd hit of the day, and with that LeBron single, Joe Kramer will come to the plate, and now FIU has batted around. There you see 5 batters have been hit today. 4 have scored.
And the only exception, Ruiz, who was hit and erased on a fielder's choice, and the guy who reached on the fielder's choice came around to score, Tony Diaz. So the hit batsmen basically, in essence, all created runs for Florida International. As a result, the Golden Panthers with a 4-run lead, and Jay Bergman is going to make another pitching change.
Yes, he is. Nate Leonard not able to get the job done. Leonard will go out. And coming in,
Eddie Rojas.
Will be Eddie Rojas, the freshman from Orlando. We'll tell you about Eddie when we come back.
No wins or losses, but a hefty 10.8 ERA. He's worked 10 innings, allowing 10 hits. Control the problem. He has walked 9 batters in those 10 innings while striking out 11. Opposing teams hit .256 against him. And Rojas coming in just to try to get one.
All tonight on Lifetime's Unsolved Mysteries. On Showtime, Roddy McDowell is on the defensive as a female vampire returns to settle the score with her blood-sucking brother's murderers in Fright Night Part 2.
I got married very young and made some awful mistakes.
I didn't want to spend thousands of dollars on those credit repair clinics.
I was afraid to answer my own phone because collection companies kept calling me.
So to all you consumers out there who've ever had a credit problem, call 1-800-YES-CREDIT. That's 1-800-YES-CREDIT. If you order today, 1-800-YES-CREDIT will provide you with a complimentary application for an unsecured major credit card with no security deposit. That's yes, 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 yes. 1-800-YES-CREDIT.
You've been watching Preview Tonight. Stay tuned. Preview's Family View is coming up.
The Gain Ultra 2 Show and Smell Challenge comes to New Orleans. Hi, I'm the Gain Man. What's your name?
Hi, Ann Rieger.
Now, Ann, you've tried new Gain Ultra 2, huh?
I have.
Tell me about it.
I love it.
Well, do you have any clean laundry you can bring to the door and I can smell how clean it is right now?
I do.
Great. Could you fetch that for us?
Sure will.
So what do we have here?
This is my 11-year-old's sock. He and his sister love to come out here and play.
Let's see if it smells as good as it looks. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Smell Ann.
Oh, yeah. That's not just plain clean. That's Gain. Thank you for making me smell the toe of the...
Actually, Coochie, perhaps we shouldn't. We have to watch what we eat. All this good stuff and no cholesterol? Coochie, to the lounge chairs!
Fresh roasted taste, no cholesterol.
Reruns.
Planters, relax, go nuts.
With tonight's top choices for family entertainment. This is Preview's Family View. Get ready for 3 times the mischief and mayhem on Family as Mo, Larry, and Curly slap, poke, and tickle their way from one situation to another on the Three Stooges. Explore the short grass prairie and the alpine tundra in the area known as the Waterton Glacier International Peace Park tonight on Wild Discovery.
Have you won a big settlement due to an accident but don't want to collect small sums of money for the next 10, 15, or 20 years? If your case has already been settled and you're entitled to annuity payments, simply call and convert your small settlement payments into one large lump sum. You get paid all at once instead of little by little. Have money for college or to invest in a home or business. This is not a loan. Use the money for anything. Call Peachtree Settlement Funding toll-free 1-800-600-9161. That's 1-800-600-9161.
You've been watching Family View. Join us in 30 minutes for another look at TV Tonight.
You're watching Preview, your best source for program information. Coming up, it's another brain teaser from Preview Trivia. Then stay tuned for Interview with Jim Ferguson. Preview, see what's on.
Preview Channel, I'm Jim Ferguson talking to Wesley Snipes about murder at 1600.
I've got a murder at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. An address that changes all the rules.
Of course, you're a local detective in D.C., and you're assigned to the investigation, which I could imagine in reality would be a nightmare.